Good day and welcome to Three Dudes and a Lady. Join us for a little inspiration, a little motivation, and perhaps a way to cope with your day. I am Mike from Virginia, and my gratitude this morning is for family.
Hey, good morning, folks. My name is Earl. I'm from the beautiful state of North Carolina here. And my gratitude is starting off with temperatures actually lower than they anticipated.
That's always good. Good morning, everyone. My name's Jay Anderson. I yield from the wild, wonderful state of West Virginia. My gratitude is really listening to Jay Shetty. Makes me think a little.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Hey guys, this is Christine Wright hailing out of the great state of Florida.
You should say it.
My gratitude for the day is health. When you have it, it's great. When you don't, it sucks. Today, Jay Shetty talked about resting is training, right? We've all heard the saying, practice makes perfect. And sometimes in our quest to improve, we miss when to actually take a break, right? We need to rethink the role of rest in our lives. He brought up a friend who was doing a 50-mile run. Yes, a 50-mile run. And his question was, how does someone train for that kind of distance, right? She pulled out a calendar. She was working with a coach who gave her an actual schedule, right? And in that schedule, she had rest included in her calendar. And when he asked her about that, she said, well, when you have a massive goal like 50 miles, it can be easy to push, right? But the problem is that if you don't get enough recovery, then we get burned out. And a lot of times we think of rest as treats, but they need to be part of the program, not actual the reward, right? Evenings and weekends, a lot of times we use that time to get ahead, right? To get ahead of the other person and do some side projects or our side hustle or maybe work on a new business, right? But if we keep driving hard, we're going to end up breaking down. We think of time off as a time of not making gains, whereas actually rest is going to enable that progress for us, right? And the urge to press on is so strong. We just keep going. Resting and refueling isn't time off. It's key to the creative process and how it makes us more productive and focused, right? When you do get rest, we need to make the most of it. When you're totally off, be totally off, right? Powering down periodically is a brilliant way to stay refreshed. And Mike, you guys, I'm going to bring up something biblical here. If God had to rest on the seventh day, don't you think we need rest on well, at least once a week, right? Mike and I have been this year, we put in our calendars that we are going to take one day and rest. Like that's going to be a day of rest, right? Is it easy? No, because there's always side projects. There's always something to clean, especially if you have kids and dogs, right? So there's always something to be done, especially in owning businesses, right? Always something to be doing, right? So we think that we just need to push and push and push until our bodies can't take it anymore, because our bodies will tell you and they'll shut down completely. Trust me, it's happened to me more than once because I was that person that thought rest was for the weak and I was not weak. So I was going to keep pushing. Rest is not for the weak. It's for everyone. Everyone needs rest. We just need it to refuel ourselves, maybe even to humble ourselves a little bit, saying that we can't do it all. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Like this one spoke true to me because it's who I used to be.
Yeah, this one resonates with me strongly because I've had to revamp my schedule actually a few weeks ago because I have a part-time side hustle that I do, making coffee and food deliveries. Now, I used to get up early on Sunday mornings at like 6:30 in the morning, but I pushed myself for nothing. And I said, you know what? Enough is enough. Sunday is my seventh day. It's also my church day. And I said, well, instead of getting up that early in the morning, I'm going to let myself rest until about 7:30 in the morning. That extra hours of rest can make a big difference for me. And just gliding, having my first cup of coffee in the morning and just preparing my day just before going to church. I know that, and I've changed my church schedule. I used to go to the 11 a.m. service. Now I go to the 9 a.m. service because when I go to the 9 a.m. service, it could just kick off my day in the right way. And actually, the past couple of Sundays, the funny part is I've been invited to breakfast right at that. So, it's funny how, I don't want to say magic happens, but association. But the thing is, if you coordinate your schedule for rest and it collaborates with what you do in your living day, I mean, sometimes the pieces of the puzzle can fall into place. And on Sundays, and because a lot of time ago when I was doing this for a side hustle on Sundays, I used to work from like sunrise to sunset, and I just told myself, enough is enough. Because you wake up on Monday morning, you have to recharge yourself for other things. You're not going to have the energy to do it. So it's important you know your body and know your schedule, and that day of rest where you need it, because like Christine just said, your body will let you know about it, and there's nothing worse than having to go on instant shutdown, and it affects your health in more ways than one.
Yes, absolutely. Spot on. Mike, Jay?
Yeah, I don't set alarms on Sundays, and I still manage to get up in time to do what I need to do, and which now includes church. Granted, it's online, but
It's something.
yeah. Also, as he was talking about this, I was thinking about how um, this will relate to if you have an automobile. You would never drive multiple years without changing the oil or getting new tires or stopping for gas, right? So our bodies are no different. We need fuel, we need self-care, we need rest.
Yeah, good analogy. And it's so true too. Like if you just let your car go and continue to push it and push it and push it and don't do the maintenance on it, what happens? Breaks down on you, right? Our
Yeah.
bodies are definitely no different.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out who coined the phrase the rest is for the weak. Uh,
Me,
because
just kidding. I'm just
that
kidding. I did not.
no, long before you were ever
Yeah,
thought of, that was a norm
yeah, for sure.
statement, if you've ever heard. It's you uh, sports. You hear it in sports. You hear it in a lot of professions, doctors. When they're doing their rotations and stuff like that, the amount of crazy hours that they have to put in. Armed services. You've heard about boot camp being just relentless, and so the the one thing that kind of came to my mind during this whole thing was, sometimes we say, well, as an example, Earl was saying, Sunday, I decided Sunday is going to be my day, the heck with this. Christine, you said you and Mike have chosen a day of rest. Uh, I applaud it. Let's go back to something that we talked about probably a couple years ago. Christine, you really honed this on us one time, and it was our schedule, it was our calendar, and we did time blocking. And I think that this could be possibly a resource that we need to bring to light here, because when Jay Shetty says resting is training, I think the illusion that we have as individuals, I have this illusion, just to be clear, okay?
Even the
Uh,
people that rest still have it. Just
uh,
FYI.
well, no, I'm one of these people, resting is for the weak. That is my mindset. However, my body does tell me when it's time to shut down. Have I thought about maybe time blocking my week a little bit better? And maybe I might not reach that body point of saying shut down, the heck with it. Or generally speaking, when you reach that point, it's a combination of one, frustration, and do I want frustration? ultimately a adult. But the realism is life is never perfect. Life is never easy. The goal here is to try to make it easier on yourself, get the rest. And how many times have we said to ourselves, man, if I just work a little harder, another couple of hours a day or whatever, if I just do that, I'm going to achieve what it is I want to achieve. And the reality is working harder, rest is in that equation. It's part of working harder. That's why the phrase or the title, resting is training, is titled the way that it's titled. It is training. We need to look at rest as no different than putting that extra hour in.
And Jay, I want to throw something in there. There should be like, I want to say it's a side title. It's called Work Smarter, Not Harder.
That's right.
Because, I mean, it makes sense. And if you work smarter and not harder, be logical about what it is that you're doing. And, does it make sense to put that extra hour or two of that hard work, whatever it is, as opposed to getting that hour's rest that your body needs? I mean, think about what you're doing to yourself first before you do it, right?
Well, that rest will give you that extra hour.
Well, that's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to drive. Because
Yeah.
can you make up for it later in the day? Say what I need to complete. That way, when you come home later that evening, saying, "Okay, I accomplished my mission. All right, I'm in a better place now." That's the one thing that I had to learn about myself because I've always been a morning person. All right, I'm a morning person.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
and
wasn't when I was younger, but I am now.
right. I just feel I can get more done in the morning. I feel good, especially when I'm out there and there's hardly anybody on the road. It just makes it feel better for driving. It makes it feel better, I can get things done maybe just a little bit quicker. But at the same time, you have that me time, just put on your favorite music, and especially on a Sunday morning when you can roll the windows down and let that cool breeze in. It kind of adds a little touch to it. But at the same time, is your body prepared for it? Are you feeling extra tired? Are you feeling like you're pushing yourself too much? Because if you feel that way, that to me is a danger sign. Because
Sure it
if your
is.
body, yeah, your body's warning you, say, "Hey, enough already." And you don't want to make up for it later in the day when you come home where you're making yourself sick. I mean, take that extra hour if you can, whatever it is, and think about being analytical about what you're doing to push your day through.
And Earl, great point. Like, I'm going to share a little story with you guys because this was my thought process of rest is for the week. I used to get up at 4 o'clock every morning, and this was in the height of our insurance business. Like, this was not that many years ago. My son was 14, so 4 years ago. This is how I operated. I'd wake up at 4 a.m. and I'd take him and his friend to the gym. While they were in the gym, I was in the truck working. And he had a lot of business owners went to the gym then. So Braden he got to be around a lot of like self-employed people, a lot of, because he was around us all the time. It's not like kids don't like necessarily look at their parents like that, right? So he was looking up to these guys that were at the gym and, so he always wanted to go at 4 a.m. because that's when all the entrepreneurs were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that he could get information from them or, wisdom or whatever. And one of his coaches, his football coach, was at the gym then too. And they would always ask him, "Your mom doesn't want to come in and work out with you?" And I was like, "No." He was always like, "No, she's working, blah, blah, blah." And that's what I would do. I would work from 4 a.m. till probably 9 p.m. at night, Monday through Friday, at least Monday through Friday. And this went on for a while until I got sick and then I couldn't do it anymore. But that's how I operated because I thought that's what was going to push me ahead of everybody else, right? And that's not the case.
And Christine, I want to point out, and Jay was talking about occupations. I want to throw one in there that I was involved in my younger years. I can't believe I'm saying younger years.
You
Yeah.
old cat.
But no, on a serious note, in the culinary slash hospitality industry, people working in hotels, chefs, if you think they're only in the restaurant from like whenever they open like lunch and dinner, they're only open. Let me tell you something. Those guys are in there at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. They got to order food. They have to go through health inspections or ordering, planning, all that. It takes a lot to be in the culinary, and I've seen chefs who have to go in there at 5 in the morning and they don't get out until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And the worst part about it is you got to ask yourself, are you making a profit in your business? All right. That sometimes is a slap in the face. So whenever I go to a restaurant, you know, whatever, if I'm dashing or even just trying it out for the first time, I always give appreciation, especially for good service. Always give that good gratitude because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know the hard work that they put in, and it can lead to burnout.
For sure.
And I've seen people in the culinary field. I mean, now I have a cousin up in Massachusetts who has his own ice cream shop. Now you might think, oh, that's a cute little part-time side hustle. Let me tell you something. That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
All right, the creativity, everything. I mean, he actually has a new piece of machinery he invested into his business that can do more things for his product. Also, he it looks like a '60s diner in there. I mean, he really beautified it up, but the work he put into it to make it something, he put in the hours. All right. And, granted, his hours now, I think, are from 12 noon to like 9 at night, something like that. But beforehand, he's in there early in the morning, prepping for the day. So it just gives you an example how he disciplines himself. He has a girlfriend and he has a beautiful dog that keeps him company all the time. He keeps him busy. He's a big dog lover. And just and he's my age. He's only 6 months younger than me, and the work he puts into it, he makes sure that he's not gonna have another heart attack because he's disciplining his life to being at his best. So for everybody watching here, um, the hours that you put into some, just because the hours of operation may look, it's a cute little part-time job. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know the hours or the training that goes into what they're doing.
Which is exactly why rest is so important, right? Because of that right there. Because a lot of times, like that caused burnout. When I was in my trenches of working from 4 to 9, that caused a lot of burnout. It took a little bit for time for it to show up, but it showed up and it showed up hard. And it put me out of the game for at least 6 months. I mean, it took me at least 6 months to heal. And then another 6 months after I finally found the medication I needed to take in order to heal properly. So,
Hey, Christine, one other occupation I want to throw in there, and I was a little bit almost a victim of this, was being a truck driver and delivering groceries. I
yeah,
used to have to get up at 2 in the morning to get to the store, and they would give me an assignment. It wouldn't get done till almost noontime, but then I get the bad news. I had to go pick up a load to bring back to the warehouse, and there's an extra 3 hours. So I was on the road for 13 hours, with very little breaks. And sometimes those truck drivers, you don't know what they've been through throughout the day. So
right.
I,
that's just,
I think you can encompass pretty much all employment of
Oh
some
yeah,
sort.
for
right,
sure.
exactly.
Any,
Yeah,
any,
exactly. Right. You're right.
It's all there's nothing easy. Okay.
Hmm.
Winning the lottery is hard because you got to play it and you got to spend money, right? Okay. It's hard. And everybody thinks, oh, well, that's easy. Well, no, it's not. Do you have discipline to pay every week to play? Well, I don't. It's very rare that I ever buy one. And the crazy part is my chances are higher at a small number than a larger number. But yet it's the larger number that attracts to go purchase a ticket if I do. Now,
That's
I
not.
think it's what's that? You get
No,
like my reasoning there?
no.
Oh, I
You
do. I
the
do.
number the odds are always the same because it's always the same numbers.
See, I'm
You
going to
might have to
disagree.
split. You might have a less chance of splitting it if you buy a ticket for $1 million prize as opposed to a $300 million prize. But
But the
But
but the thing but the thing
you
of it
have the
is,
less of a pool to compete against.
yeah,
but Jay, here's the thing. I don't even like playing the lottery because I know my chances of winning are very, very slim.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would rather invest my money in something that's going to make sense to me.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Like
I
crypto.
agree. I agree. I agree. Lottery was a bad example because I really don't play it much, but it is hard. The point is, you still have to the
You're supposed to
repetitive,
be just disciplined to do it.
the discipline to do it.
It's Monday morning, Jay. You're just getting
yeah.
started.
Oh, I'm just getting started. Sit down and strap in, baby, because here we
Hmm.
go.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The crazy part about this to me is we've done it to ourselves. There's no one else to blame. We have done all this to ourselves. Then we've allowed the norm to take place and we buy into the bait that we see. Work harder. Oh man, I'm not getting in our industry. Oh, I'm not getting any traction. Dow more. Okay, I'm just giving, comparisons what it means. What, how's that helping me? Dow more. Okay. A little bit of a lottery theory behind that, Mike. Just saying. But anyways, the point that I'm making is part of self-reflection is being able to say, wait a second, maybe I need to take this 20-minute, today's the 20th at I don't know, 3 o'clock. I need to take 20 minutes, time block it, stop everything. During that 20 minutes, it doesn't matter how much time you allot for it. It's the fact that you're being disciplined enough to allot for it for you, for yourself. And sometimes it's the little breaks that where I was heading originally from, like you guys have chosen Sunday as a day to do it. But what if we did a break or two through the day? And that really kind of got us to where we needed to be. Does your production level increase? I think what it increases, our emotional intelligence only allows for so much before it shuts down. And part of our emotional intelligence is a mind game to our own self. And we allow those things to get in our way. Oh, resting's for the weak. Oh, why would you need that time off? Wait a second, you're taking 30 minutes off? I'm over here busting my butt. What's the matter with you? It's the mentality of what we see.
It's because society is telling us that resting is for the weak, right? And we're listening. Yes. Yes. Where are we getting that? And you guys think about it, like Jay, you brought up a great point about what if you put in your schedule 20 minutes just to take a rest, right? Imagine how you're going to feel about yourself if you stay disciplined to that. Because that is showing yourself that you're disciplined, right? Even though it's such a small thing and it's almost like a reward that we think of it as a reward, even though it's not a reward. It's like it's part of human nature. It's part of who we are, how we were built and how we were made, right? That we need rest. We can't do it all. We can't do it all on our own, right? We need rest in order to regroup and refocus. And that's going to show us that we're disciplined to do the small things, right? And if we're disciplined to do the small things, we're going to be disciplined to do the big things. Would you guys agree?
Mhm.
Yeah. What I do on my side hustle, Christine, I just want to make a side note on something. If I'm starting as early as 6:30 in the morning, but I'll literally stop at 10, all right, to give myself a break because I don't want to wear out my vehicle. And I certainly, if I feel thirsty, if I feel like I need to use the bathroom, or if I need that break, I push myself to take that break and said, okay, it's time for a recharge. All right, you've done your diligence for the morning. Take that break, whether it's an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is. get yourself that rest and get back out there and do it for like 3 more hours, whatever you can do, and see where you're at. Because a lot of times you can dictate when it's going to be busy and when you can be more productive, but at the same time, then you can take another break. If you do it in pieces, like I have the ability to do that, then it makes the day a little more easier at the end of the day, so I'm not totally warped.
Right.
So
Think about the
I
big corporations out there
right
that do it,
in
like
the
Google,
like
Meta.
in the insurance business, when it's time to dial, when it's time to get a hold of clients, take that hour and a half, 2 hours. All right, see how many appointments you book, do your numbers, all that, and then stop, take a break, go outside, take a walk, go to the grocery store, whatever it is that that you need. Okay, and if you have to get back in the afternoon, so be it. It's a matter of disciplining yourself in your schedule to be the best you can be, because if you don't, all it's going to do is burn out and turn your life upside down.
Right. And if the big corporations are incorporating pods for people to rest in or a community workspace, then why wouldn't we think that we need that, right? I mean, big corporations are doing that right now, like Google and Meta and Mind Valley.
They did not at one
No, they
time.
did not, but they do now. Like now it's a big part of who they are and working for them, right? It's part of the natural thing now, right? That they realize people need rest, right? You're going to be more productive if you rest.
Well, and here's kudos to the insurance industry for this, for these large corporations, because when insurance started promoting wellness for the working environment, this comes into play here. They're trying to set a precedent of, hey, everybody needs to do something somehow. Now, whether it's exercising, resting, or whatever, but that
So
is a key factor. We all know this. If it is that you're getting ready to go on a hike and you're well rested before you start, you're going to last a little longer. Now, could there be issues during that? Sure. That's in anything in life. Okay. If you take another little break during that versus pushing on, can you go further? Possibly. Possibly.
are
Your
you going to burn
chances
out
are
in the long run? No.
your chances are increased to do that. Okay. So that's the whole thing. We have to get past the wall that we've created in our mind. Shit, it's 2 o'clock today, and I'm sitting here and I'm doing nothing. Wait a second. What's wrong with me? Yeah.
Been
I
there,
mean,
been there. Had those conversations with myself.
yeah. How have you not? I mean,
Right.
we've all been that, like,
Yeah.
man, what am I doing? I got so much to do. Why am I, you know, I go back to the resource of your calendar. Guys, I would promote that 100% of the time because I feel like that's something that it's only a guideline. It helps you. If you get derailed from what your calendar says, at least you can look at your calendar and know what you have to come back to versus sit here and not have anything planned out. And then you're scratching your head and you're like, well, I don't know what I have to do next because you're overwhelmed. Listen, we live in a world that it's a rat race. Don't care what everybody thinks otherwise. We do. It is fast paced, it is fast moving. Jump on that wheel and hold on so you don't fall off. Just remember one thing, you control yourself. And that's the key. What allows you to do? And resting is training because man, it takes a lot just to do it. And
Yeah.
that's odd. You would think resting is a peaceful, quiet time. How is that hard to do?
Because a lot of times we're in our own head about what we're doing. Why are you resting? You should be working. Get back to work. You had all of this stuff to do, and then we spiral out because we do have all this stuff. And that's why when you come back here, sometimes you can feel overwhelmed, or you can feel overwhelmed during the rest. And that's all society talking to us.
That man,
All society.
Mike, I see your brain. The gears are turning. I can see him. It's like, yeah, What do you have? What are you thinking? I'm just curious.
Well, the big thought I'm having is if you don't do it, your body will do it for you.
Mhm. And it will.
Yeah. So if I don't get enough rest, I will fall asleep during a Zoom call. Hopefully my camera is off.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully, yeah.
Or if
But
I feel like
you're
I'm running
spot
out of
on.
reach out.
When we see a
Yeah,
blank camera on the name Mike Jones, chances are he's got his
He
eyes
knows it.
closed.
it's not gonna, hopefully it won't happen at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I think it's interesting, folks. We're not licensed therapists, but I will tell you, it's you could see the different takes, the different angles that we see and view when we hear the very same content at the same time. That goes to show you how vastly different the whole world is. This is just a small little speck of a sample with four of us. But we do take time on a daily basis to listen to the app Calm on YouTube, listen to Jay Shetty inside that app, and we enjoy taking his content after we listen to it and explaining it. And yet, on a daily basis, we have four different angles. Now, there's portions of angles that we all agree upon, but they are four different angles, rest assured. And they're not us against each other angles. This is just how we perceive the way things are being said to us. So it's very interesting to me to watch this. I hope you feel the same way when you watch. Please join us on a daily basis.
And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. We'll see you soon.
Deuces.
Peace.